Whoa! Ooh. Welcome, wonderful souls. It's time for Brush with Death. Death is me, and you can call me Grim. If you're wondering why it took so long to get 2025 content out, I've been cooking, I'm creating an art prompt challenge that I'll talk about soon, I'm making my Fakemon region soon, I've been doing commissions too. One thing I do like to cook though is potatoes. But there's so many forms of potatoes you can eat. Potato forms, Pokemon forms, Pokemon potatoes. I had this idea for years, so please watch this video to the very end. Grim from 5 years ago will be very happy if you did. To cook a potato, we first need a potato. This potato Pokemon will be an evolution type of split evolution, but first we need a cute marketable base stage based on a raw potato from the ground. I gave it a derpy face, no thoughts, head empty style. I tried to make the leaves give an illusion of little ears, it's fat and round body, and there's really not much else to this Pokemon. This is Potatin, the potato Pokemon, cause he be potatin day. Potatins stay underground for most of the day, but occasionally stick their heads out so that the leaves on their head can absorb some sunlight. Potatin will be pure grass type, and all the evolutions will also keep the grass typing in addition to their secondary typing. So what will Potatin evolve into? Despite being excited for this video idea, I really struggled at the start. Some of my friends pointed out that I was overthinking my designs, trying to conform to what an evolution requirements are. That all of them are the similar cat, dog, fox thing, that have some decorations to define what their typing is. That instead of doing that, I should just do whatever I want. Instead of sticking to one animal, why not just make them all different animals? After all, potato is just a potato, man. It's just a round thing. To narrow concepts down, I decided to base my potato evolutions on the 7 deadly sins: gluttony, pride, lust, wrath, greed, sloth, and envy. Let's go with gluttony first, since this video's Fakemon concept is a foodmon, though gluttony doesn't always have to be associated with food. But the most common way to eat a potato, I would say, is probably french fries. This was also pretty much the first of these evolutions that I designed. It's a french fry porcupine or skunk with its tail cut into the french fry shape. The fries have this squarey look, so I kept that for the neck and body too. I also thought of continuing the ears leaf thing from Potatin, but I changed it to this flower, like little flower pigment thing. But for gluttony, it's just a leaf. All the other potato illusions we'll be seeing will also have some flower on them. This is Glutterfry. There's a lot of fries. That's a lot of fries that are gotta fry.
Why are you the way that you are?
Glutterfry is the fry cut Pokemon with a new ability, Salt Throw, where every turn it does chip damage, potato chip damage. Chip damage, which throws salt on its opponent, does a little bit of damage every turn. Glutterfry will be grass normal, and their tails produce a tasty, tempting meal to lure their prey. And if a predator comes in, they use the tails, throw the salt, and spray salt to scare them off. How do you make a prideful potato Pokemon? Well, it's a Pokemon that took a look at Glutterfry and said, yeah, watch this. I'm the superior fry, the fancier fry, the curlier fry. Yup, this is for curly fries, and I use a horse since that felt like it suited pride. And I could give it the Galarian Rapidash My Little Pony treatment in addition to its luscious golden locks. literally golden fries locks. It adorns green jewels and rich fur, with the flower shape being a star on its butt where the My Little Pony cutie marks are. This is delicious! The curly cut Pokemon. They groom their potato manes, keeping their luscious goldy fry locks nice and pristine. The luscious look down on the other evolutions of Potatin and even other Deluscious to see who the most Deluscious of them all. The luscious will be grass fairy type with the ability Rivalry. But which fry do you prefer? The OG Glitter Fry or Delicioso? Our last potato needs to dress up first, so why don't you take a look at down below this video and make sure the little subscribe button says subscribed. Okay, now the potato is ready. Since I allowed myself to use more animals for my potato lotions, I thought it'd be cool to do a water type. My friend Bales gave me the idea of fish and chips. Of course, the chips in the dish means fries, but we already did fries, so we're gonna change the word to chips, as in potato chips, which some of you call crisp, but some people say fries. Potato fish and potato chip. Also, because chips kinda look like scales on a fish, I made Lust look like an old school pinup girl, striped bikini style, minimal scale chips instead of a full chip tail, and her flower is a little love heart. This is Maringles, the chip scale Pokemon. Maringles is grass water type and will have the ability Dazzling. Maringles are aware of their natural beauty and their scales are not as brittle as they seem. Did you also notice that all the shiny so far, their potato parts are purple now? This is a reference to some potatoes being purple, which are also yummy. Next is our greed potato, which honestly I designed it as a vulture purely to have a bird-like design in this video, as well as vultures kinda seemingly greedy as they scavenge food. The upper bodies and the feathers make the gravy color because greed will be our mashed potato, instead of the water type being mashed potatoes like in my original sketches. For Greed's flower, I made it look like this weird dollar shaped sign because greed and money, and it's green for the money. Eat the rich, literally, because now the rich is a potato. Meet Masher, the Mash Wing Pokemon. Masher will be grass dark type with the ability Thick Fat. They mash up a mix of gravel, dirt, or leftover food that they've scavenged and create this mushy substance to stick underneath their wings. Despite having these wings, they don't fly a lot or at all. To be honest, this might be my least favorite of the potato evolutions. I feel like it should have been a bit more mashed potato-y, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Ever eaten good food to the point where you get sleepy? Me too, and so does our sloth Fakemon. And me narrating this video, I just woke up high. Of course, for our sloth potato, I went with the obvious and based it on a sloth. But for some reason, this lazy TV watching pose came to mind and it clicked. Not only is it a baked potato, because it's frickin' baked, it looks like it's on the couch watching TV because it's on a couch. It's a couch potato. Duh. Its belly is a steaming baked potato, and since the sloth is so lazy, the grass elements on it overgrew on its body and even some flora started to bloom. Its flower is in shape of a Z because of the This is Dozoff, the baked Pokemon. Dozoff are grass and ground type with the ability Comatose, cause it's in a constant food coma. Dozoff are always asleep, but their bodies are extremely warm. Pokemon who can stand the heat like to use Dozoff as like a bed or snuggle against it, kinda like a warm, steaming hot Snorlax, which depending on who you are might be a good thing or really strange. For Raph, I knew I wanted it to be potato wedges so it can be claws. I thought about making it a dragon, but I wanted the wedges to be prominent and longer on the Pokemon. So I went with a werewolf. It's a chunky werewolf, and personally this might be my favorite of the Potasins, purely because the flower on his head is now in the shape of that anime cartoon angry vein, and since it's burning in anger, its whole body is cooked. I also think wedges might be my favorite way to eat a potato. This is Wedgewolf, the fried slice Pokemon, with the ability, of course, being Anger Point, and it will be grass fighting. Their claws are not just sharp, but Wedgewolf have the strongest muscles in the potato evolutions. Like I said earlier, this is probably my favorite of the evolutions we're making today, and I especially love how the pose turned out. Our final sin is envy. And how do I make an envious potato? So I came up with this concept that would suit a poison type, a spoiled potato. Similar to how Delicious has this concept of looking down on the other evolutions, this Pokemon is jealous that the other evolutions are so cool. They have cool new bodies, unique abilities. Meanwhile, our envious potato is this sludgy, slimy, rotten, eel-shaped potato who's still stuck to the body of Potatin. This is Jealous, the spoiled body Pokemon. It is grass and poison, of course, with the ability Corrosion, so it can poison things even if they have steel typing, things like that. Jealous are envious of its relatives, the other Potatin evolutions, as they feel forever stuck to the original body of Potatin. However, it's oblivious to the fact that it has a unique shape and abilities compared to the other evolutions. This black sheep of the family, instead of having purple for its shiny form, its base form is purple and its shiny is black. Once again adding to how it's so unique from the other evolutions, but it just has no idea. That's so sad. Okay, now I'm hungry. Maybe I'll go buy some fries or something. Let me know in the comments which of these sinful potatoes was your favorite. Was this one of my weirdest and dumbest ideas? Yeah. But that's what I want this channel to be. Both for Fakemon and non-Fakemon art, I just want to work on ideas that even if I say it out loud, it's just the dumbest thing that ever came to my mind. Hopefully this weird video gets some attention. But that's the balance of being a creator for the people and being a creator for myself. So I'll keep creating and maybe you'll have a brush with death. I'll see you next video. Hold up, do you just spend a whole video without acknowledging that you're in 3D? Yeah. But let me just thank Moyum on VGen for creating this model for me. I like it a lot, you know. And also to Marin for creating the little animation intro of Brush with Death that you saw at the beginning of the video. I'll be using this model for future videos, and if we can, maybe some live streams. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I might plan some memberships too. If you have ideas for what could be membership perks, leave that in the comments as well. Okay, now I'm actually going. Happy day!